If you follow the Fate series, then you know how confusing some of those shows can get. It's kind of like reading comic books and finding out that there's a multiverse, and sometimes things are the same, but also different. For example, Gilgamesh with armor, Gilgamesh with no armor, male Arthur, female Arthur. Who has time for all of that? Me. I have time for that. I fucking love this series. And one of my favorite Saber class summons is Mordred, Saber of Red. Mordred is the Saber class hero and servant of the Red faction during the Great Holy War in Fate Apocrypha, which I'm sure I horribly pronounced. The big difference here is that instead of every magic user for themselves, it was Red Team versus Black Team. Black Team was a hella organized organization of wizards, and Red Team was mostly randos that treated teamwork like it was a colonoscopy. You don't want to get one, but eventually shit hits the fan, and you kind of have to deal with it. But honestly, one of the best parts about Mordred of Red was that her past fills in some gaps for another popular Saber, King Arthur. Mordred's past is tied to Arthur because, oh my god, you're never gonna believe this, Mordred is the son of Arthur. And they're both women. I love this show. I mean, it wasn't even like it was anything weird. Mordred joins Arthur's Knights of the Round Table and works to be the best knight that Arthur has, and when she finds out that she is in fact the son of King Arthur, she feels like the throne is her birthright. But Arthur gives no fucks. So Mordred learns to hate her mother-father. It was a weird time of magic. And instead of finding a healthy way to deal with this problem, Mordred decides to start a rebellion, and everybody dies. It's good family therapy. It's a real wholesome family story if you look at it. So like other heroes, Mordred obviously ends up being summoned for the Holy Grail War, and she is easily one of the strongest fighters on the board. This woman is power incarnate. So yeah, you know she has a complicated history, you know that Arthur is her father-mother, and if you watched Fate's Day Night Unlimited Blade Works, then you know that there's a little cameo where you actually see Arthur have a flashback of Mordred. It was awesome. But the fact that Mordred is in the spotlight here is fantastic, and I'm gonna tell you why. Unlike her parentals, Mordred is just savage. This chick does not go for the stealth, tact, no. She throws everything she has into the fight. She uses her weapon, she uses her armor, she uses her own body to demolish things while she's fighting. The Black Squad has these golems that they constantly summon so that they can fight the servants and their masters, and you know what? Mordred does not care about any of that. She will launch herself through golems just for the hell of it. And it doesn't even stop there. Mordred can lift golems and throw them into other golems if she feels like it. At one point, she actually picks up a two-handed sword and just flings it with one hand like it was nothing. Honestly, these golems are just red shirts. You know, you should really be scared of a Saber class soldier when they swing their sword and they're not even trying to create force waves, and they end up creating force waves. That's just big dick energy right there. One thing that she actually does share with Arthur is that she has Mana Burst, which allows her to use the magical energy inside of her body to give herself more strength, give herself more speed, and then just take all that badassery to the next level. And just to keep this perspective train rolling, golems aren't the only thing that Saber's badass at fighting. At one point, she actually takes a berserker's noble phantasm to the face. Frankenstein's noble phantasm destroys everything within miles, and Mordred is able to just walk out of the crater. I mean, come on, Saber has the strength, she has the speed, she has the durability, and also, her noble phantasms are badass. She has this one called Secret of Pedigree that actually allows her to conceal her identity in all of her stats, like her noble phantasm and her equipment, as long as she has her helmet on. And then she has her sword, Clarent, which is actually a former royal sword that ended up being transformed because of her hatred of her father. And the sword is so powerful that when she releases that power, which is called Clarent Blood Arthur, she's actually able to defeat the Black Team Saber, which is insane because the Black Team Saber is really the only person that's been giving her shit the entire series. Everyone else has just been from no trouble at all to moderate annoyance. Now see, here's the problem. If you've seen the series, then you know that Saber doesn't win it for the team, right? Okay, so I feel like that's more on the dude and not really Saber, and that's how I'm gonna say that. But you know what? She won in teamwork, and she won in friendship, and she also won in badassery. So in my book, she's a winner. And I swear I wish I had more time to go into more detail about this character because Mordred is just a badass. And honestly, it makes me want to play Fate Grand Order. But if you know the series, let me know what you think about Mordred. And if you don't know the series, go check them out. There's like 3 of them on Netflix. 4, I think. I think there's 4 Fate series on Netflix, and you should totally watch them because they're amazing and it's a great anime. albeit a little confusing if you don't follow the stories, because some of them branch off and they're not all related. Put it in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.